have always known that whatever career I chose, it had to be one where I knew I was making a difference in people's lives. Maybe being the oldest of 5 children has played a big role in my nurturing nature. I graduated from Cal State Fullerton with my bachelor's in liberal studies in 2006. This was such a huge accomplishment because I was the first person in my family to attend a 4-year university and graduate. I had considered attending the credentialing program at Fullerton, but as graduation neared and the job market began to look dim, I decided I needed to attend a program that was a bit more fast-paced. A credential at Fullerton would take me a year and a half, and I knew obtaining one in the middle of the school year was going to make job seeking a bit more challenging. That is when I began to research other universities and I came across APU. I called, and just with the phone call, they made me feel welcomed. I decided then that this is where I wanted to attend. It was the best choice I could have made. I had such a wonderful experience and highly recommend the program. After earning my multiple subject credential in 2007, I was hired that summer to teach 4th grade. My first year of teaching was great, a bit stressful at times, but I really couldn't have asked for a better group of students. Unfortunately, the budget crisis started to make an appearance, and I was laid off. Luckily, I was hired back to teach 1st grade the following 2008-2009 school year. Things were going great. Then, in February, my brother was involved in a traumatic motorcycle accident, which left him in a coma and the ICU for 3 months. Then the budget crisis hit with full force. Due to declining enrollment, drastic measures had to be taken in my district, and the decision to close down 2 schools was made, leaving me without a job once again. I really felt down on my luck. In the 2009-2010 school year, I worked as a day-to-day substitute. Although it wasn't the ideal teaching situation, I felt it was the best thing that could have happened to me. I had a lot more time on my hands, which really let me focus on myself and finally come to know Christ. This past 2010 summer, I decided I wanted to go back and get my master's degree. I felt like it was the right time in my life, especially since it looked like once again I would be working as a day-to-day sub. I felt this was something I could definitely accomplish. Besides, I was hoping it would make me more marketable in the job hunting. I inquired about returning to APU and was quickly attracted to the Digital Teaching and Learning Masters. I have always been fascinated by the use of technology in the classroom and felt that this was definitely where education was heading. So, I began the journey to earn my master's in Digital Teaching and Learning fall of 2010. In October, I was offered a long-term 1st grade teaching assignment, which proved to be one of the biggest challenges of my teaching career thus far. So much for more time on my hands. I inherited an extremely challenging group of students who will make me appreciate every class I have after them. Now that I am nearing the end, I have to say this was most certainly the right choice for me. I have learned so much in this program. In the 6 classes I have taken, I have learned so many useful skills that I can transfer into the classroom. In 512, Instructional Applications of Productivity Software, I became more proficient in programs that I thought I already knew, like making spreadsheets in Excel and merging them with documents in Microsoft Word, using Acrobat to turn websites into PDFs, and creating a web quest. In Education 514, Digital Video in the Classroom, I learned how to use iMovie on my Mac to create videos to enhance my teaching. In Education 515, Evolving Educational Technologies, I learned how to use Audacity to make audio podcasts, Jing to make video screen captures, and various programs like Ustream to create my own podcasts. These are all great skills that will make my teaching more meaningful, interesting, and exciting for my future students. For my action research report, I chose to work on a personal goal for myself. As a result of having a lot more time on my hands the 2009-2010 school year, I became a more active person. Also, After my brother had his traumatic motorcycle accident, I really learned to appreciate life more and tried to live it to the fullest. I created a bucket list for myself and set out to cross off as many things as I could. But this all changed when I started the master's program and was offered a long-term first grade assignment this past fall. Life got really busy and I no longer had time to be active. The last time I had done anything active was running in the Disney Half Marathon in September, so clearly I needed to make some changes. This action research report couldn't have come at a better time. It was the motivator I needed. One of the activities I took up was cycling. I absolutely fell in love with it. It allowed me to be outdoors while working out. I hate the gym, and running is really not my thing, so cycling is perfect for me. I started things off by getting my bike ready for the road again. It was such a sad sight to see, 2 flat tires and completely covered in dust. That's the beautiful bike I remember. I made a plan to ride 2 times a week, Wednesdays, about 10 miles, a relatively flat, easy ride, and Saturdays, 20 plus miles, a more challenging ride for a total of 30 miles a week. Easy, right? Or at least I thought so, since 30 miles really isn't much, and I had done this many times before. As you can see from my results, my goal of riding 30 miles a week by the conclusion of the 4th week happened, but the road there was not easy. I didn't take into consideration that I hadn't done any type of exercise in about 7 months. So after a couple of falls and some near blackouts, I did it. I was hoping to meet that goal by the 2nd week and be able to increase it by the 4th. Well, things don't always turn out as planned, but I have to say that getting back on my bike feels great. It has really helped me cope with the stress. I have a lot more energy. I don't only feel better physically, but also mentally. It hasn't been an easy journey, but I have slowly conquered my goal to ride 30 miles a week. For my unit, I chose to focus on map and globe skills. The reason I chose this topic is because I have taught first grade and this is something I could use in the future. I also feel that our social studies curriculum doesn't do a good job of helping the students grasp these very important concepts. My unit plan is called My World, A Child's Place on Earth. This unit plan will help students have a better understanding about their place in this world. Students will become familiar with their location on planet Earth. Through this discovery, students will gain an understanding of maps, globes, and their components. Objectives of this unit. Students will be able to identify where they live. Example, planet, continent, country, state, city. Students will be able to name the 7 continents and 4 oceans. Students will understand the purpose of a map key. Students will become familiar with the compass rose and be able to identify cardinal directions. And students will construct a simple map including a map key and a compass rose. The social studies and technology standards that are covered are the following. Some of the highlights of my unit are reading the book Me on the Map by Joan Sweeney. I will tell the students that just like the character in the book, we each have a special place on the map of our own. We even have a special place on the map as a classroom. After reading the book, I will show the students a PowerPoint presentation I created entitled Our First Grade Class on the Map. This presentation will take the students through the journey of pinpointing our place on the map as a class. We will begin with planet Earth and end at our school. The PowerPoint is set up as a fill-in-the-blank questionnaire. Another highlight is the Where I Live flip chart. Students will fill in the flip chart that will help them learn the names of places they live, beginning with planet Earth and ending on their street. For those students who learn by singing, we will learn the song of the 7 continents.
There are 7 continents.
Students will get to create a map of the school using the Paint program on the computer. Students will also create a map of the world, correctly identifying the 7 continents, 4 oceans, and including a map key and a compass rose. The students will be graded according to the rubric. The unit will end with the treasure hunt for the students. They will use the map skills they have learned to help them find treasure, treats, which I have hidden around the school. I will group the students into 4 groups and hand them each a treasure map. Each group will have a different treasure to look for. When all the groups have found their treasure, we will sit outside and enjoy the treasure, treats, as a class.